are people from the audience who are actually members of these organizations. So they're actually, see, there you go. And so they've been actually very active in helping us welcome our students, pick them up from the airport, get them their first SIM card in the Philippines, take them to University. And then what are the scholarships that Korea is offering to our students? Of course, we have the KGSP, or Korean Government Scholarship Program. So this has been going on for a while. And then we have the JKLG Friends, right, Sir Alvin. And so normally they're provided regional support on their second and fourth year, as well as a trip to Korea. And I think that part, the latter part, is what they like best. So they really like immersing in this particular culture. And for the next slide. Okay, so and then also, I would also want to bring to the table, of course, a slide. If you want to come here, challenges that we are experiencing when we send our students abroad or outside of Korea. And so basically, UP system has a scholarship or a grant for our outbound exchange students. We call it the Move Up program. So based on your bracket, right, your scholarship bracket in the SDFAP, we're all probably familiar with that. So the students are actually ranked based on their social background. And so that way the university will be able to help them more in terms of financial needs. All right, so through Move Up, the university should be able to support the students in terms of airfare, their allowances, and also other things that they actually need to study abroad for a semester. And so this is one problem that we get, because when they get accepted to a Korean university and then it's time to actually get their visa, the Move Up certification is not recognized. And so I would want that to be recognized because it will really help a lot. So UP is very proud of that our students are from very diverse background, and we actually want to think that UP is a place for them to thrive, no matter where you're from, no matter how marginalized you are. If you're able to get into UP, then you probably have a very good chance of succeeding in life. And so we would want to provide that for them, for the Move Up program. So it's actually a constant struggle. We have to go and talk to the people in the embassy, for example, just for them to recognize the certification. But there is really the support. The money comes from Congress for our students to study abroad for a semester. And so if only the certification will be accepted as valid, because there is money that will support that particular certification. So they will require a bank statement, but I think in lieu of one, this should also work. So this is actually one of the main reasons why I want to be here. Because like I said, a lot of our students, they want to go to Korea, and I don't want to take away the opportunity for them to go if they can't provide a bank statement. Because some of them really have a hard time providing such simple things. And then I think that's just it for the challenges, because in terms of relations, I think the Korean students here, they have a lot of great time, and the students going outside also really enjoy Korea. They always give very good feedback on their experience here.
Thank you, Dr. Martinez. Just a follow-up question though. How far should students prepare in case they want to visit an exchange program in Korea? And then what are some of the challenges that students confront when they get to Korea, and in the same way when Korean students are here and before they go back to Korea? What are some of the challenges that they had?
So in terms of preparation, it's always good to prepare a year before, a semester before, so you can also speak to your parents about other things that you might need in case you want to go. So that should be important, because there are also documents that you need in addition to applying for the Move Up program or the scholarship. You would need financial assistance to actually go there. So at least 2 semesters or one. And then in terms of the challenges or issues that they experience when they come here for inbound students, of course, it's culture shock. It's normal. Apparently, according to SiteServe, it's normal for people to feel a certain degree of shock when they come. So of course, there's elation at first because everything's new, and then you started feeling sad, and you miss your family and all these things. So these are just common things, but they do experience that. So what we try to do is we actually have an orientation for them, just to orient them on what's going on in UP and how to actually enjoy being an ISCA. That's what we call our UP scholars, because they're all being educated by the government, so our scholars. And so there's that. And then we also now have, we call it informal discussions at night, just to learn how to speak Filipino. So we actually have a volunteer corps now. They're made up of third culture kids. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. These are Filipinos who grew up abroad. Now they're here to study in Diliman. So we have informal discussions, and then those students are actually allowed to interact with them and learn a little bit of Filipino, like as simple as manong may paper, diet ko sa GP namin. And these are the things that we're trying to do. And then also to come up with a buddy system for our students. Now for the outbound students, of course, same thing. They get sad at some point. But in terms of academics, most of them do very well, so there's no really question in that. But it's really more adjustment. I think that's the key issue that people experience when they go on study abroad or exchange.
Students are very attracted to Korea. I witnessed during graduation ceremony, they've done several exchange programs or exchanges in South Korea. But is there any way for you to also encourage more Korean students probably to specialize in studies? Because you really don't have much of a problem encouraging students to go out. It's more Koreans inviting them, making it more attractive for the Philippines, UP in particular, for them to be here and probably major in Philippine studies or other majors that we have.
Okay, so we piloted it last January this year, that's right. So we call it the Moderator program. It's actually a short-term program for international students to come and learn about Filipino culture and language as well. But then we still have to do it again, hopefully this coming year. But we've started that. I think this is a good avenue for Korean students, for example, to get exposed to Filipino culture and the things that they actually do in the Philippines, and then become attracted to Philippine studies. Although I'm not really an expert on Philippine studies, so I'm sure they have their own way of actually how to attract their students. But then I think that's one way to go about it. And so hopefully we'll have more of the Moderator program starting next year. And so we started that this year with some January students actually. And of course we'll open that to all the other students that may be interested.
Thank you, Dr. Martinez. Let's now hear from Ms. Gina Borinaga. She's the president of the KOICA Fellows. Can you walk us through some of the activities of KOICA and what are some of the objectives of the association?
Okay, so before I talk about our association, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Gina Borinaga. So aside from being the president of Philippine KOICA Fellows Association, I'm also connected with Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation as production manager. I've been with IBC for 13 years. So I was sent by KOICA in 1999 through a TV documentary program for 1 month. So that was my first time to go to Korea. And then 20 years ago, so the second time was just last November 3 to 9. I attended the KOICA Club Leaders Conference, wherein 17 KOICA Club leaders were participated in a meeting gathering in KOICA, Shongan, the KOICA headquarters. So the Philippine KOICA Fellows Association, it is an alumni association of the KOICA Scholars, Korea International Cooperation Agency training programs. It is organized to promote culture, cooperation, fellowship between and among the participants of the KOICA training graduates and the Korea and the Philippines. So we have around 3,000 members. The KOICA started to implement the KOICA scholarship in 1991. So until now, we have almost 3,000. So the priority areas of the scholarships are in education, the health and sanitation, transport, disaster preparedness, climate change, agriculture, and they're also opening to the master's degree program and the doctorate program in 2020. So our activities it involve around because the fellowship program falls under the SIAT. We call it the SIAT. SIAT means the seed of hope. The SIAT fellowship programs are this is where the professionals, the government employees, government officials, students, public leaders are invited to Korea for a training, short-term or long-term program, and when they come back here in the Philippines, they're expected to share or to apply it in your job. So that's how Philippine KOICA Fellows Association was created in 2001. So we are already 18 years in this association. There are around 55 KOICA clubs around the world. So Philippine KOICA Fellows Association was recognized as the model alumni association of all the 55 KOICA club countries. And we are also the most active KOICA club in the whole world. So yes, our activities, we have knowledge sharing. So we organize, this is a platform wherein the KOICA scholars can share what they learn in Korea, not only about the culture, but also their technical knowledge learned from Korea. So also, we are in partnership with the Korean Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines. They're sponsoring scholars from NCR, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. They give cash every year. And aside from that, the Korean Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines also helped us in our community services, because we do not only organize knowledge sharing activities, but we also go to different regions for the community outreach medical mission. So that is where the Korean Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines is helping us. Also, we're partnering with the PNVSC, the Philippine National Volunteer Service Agency. We are helping the Korean volunteers to get involved in our activities. So we have standing MOA about our organization. And also, I'm so happy to report that some of our scholars, when they get back here, like the Czech teachers from West Visayas State University, they were able to finish a deal about the MOA, about Sila University and the West Visayas University, to help promote and in terms of research and education. Also, one of our members, just recently, if you know about the Saimaul Udong, is a new village movement. When she came back here, she's from Iloilo, Neda. When she came back here, she applied what she learned in Korea through her in her barrio, her village, and with that, she was able to invite Korean volunteers, Korean students, to help her organize the community of the Saimaul. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. You've mentioned about Korean volunteers visiting the Philippines. What are some of the usual activities that the Korean volunteers do, and where are they usually stationed?
They're stationed all over. It's not only Manila, but they're from Visayas, Mindanao. Because our members are regional, meaning they're from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, we try to through our regional coordinated mechanism, they try to invite the Korean volunteers to get involved in our organization, in our activity.
I also asked the same question a while ago. What are some of the challenges that these volunteers confront? What are they confronted with?
Yes, the challenge is because all members of government employees, all professionals, they're working 9 to 5, Mondays to Fridays. So the challenge is how do you get their commitment, their dedication, because we're not being paid, we're volunteers. So how do you give your time, your sacrifice your time for this organization? So I think we have been trying to adjust to the schedule or to the activities that we usually hold our activities during weekends. And if we hold our activities during weekdays, we make sure that we coordinate with the government agency heads to allow their employees to attend to our meetings, because KOICA also has connections, contacts to different government agencies, from Bureau of Immigration to Agriculture to DOH, every agencies.
Yeah. How responsive are the local governments in terms of accommodating the volunteers to stand by KOICA?
They are because of course they benefit the KOICA scholarship programs. KOICA scholarship program is fully funded from airfare to hotel to the place. They have also allowance. So they're very, very accommodating and very responsive. And the thing there is that our regional members also are very active. So if the regional members are very active, it is easy to connect with the local government units.
Thank you very much. I have a follow-up question to Minister Kim before we proceed with the open forum. I'm sure the audience has several questions in mind. Minister Kim, in a few days or probably over the weekend, President Duterte is leaving for the ASEAN Memorandum Summit. How do you think will Korea be able to strengthen this peace aspect of the new Southern policy in terms of its relationship with the Philippines?
Peace aspect. Actually, when my ambassador made his calls to President Duterte a few days ago, so on many other occasions, my ambassador talked about that. And going back to last, I guess, September, there was a United Nations General Assembly. And at that assembly, Korean President Jang announced for all his 3 principles on peace in the Korean Peninsula. So number 1 is zero tolerance to war, basically go to war. And number 2 principle is South Korea and North Korea that let us mutually guarantee each other's safety and security. And number 3, it was why don't we just argue with each other? But instead of arguing with each other, let's cooperate and co-prosper. So those are the 3 principles he advocated at the United Nations General Assembly when it comes to peace on the Korean Peninsula. And as a sort of a complete project to materialize these 3 principles, he also advocated a project to turn the current DMZ, demilitarized zone, into an international peace zone. And so basically, I think during the upcoming commemorative summit in Busan, and also at our summit with President Duterte, my President Jang, will once again talk about these 3 principles and the international peace project and ask for support from all the leaders from the Southeast Asia. So that's the major peace part of it when it comes to the upcoming commemorative summit. And based on my understanding, President Duterte will be supporting the Korean government's peace initiative vis-a-vis North Korea and the Korean Peninsula.
Thank you. One last. Do you see the Philippines playing a major role in terms of the stability in the Korean Peninsula? Or in general, what could ASEAN play a role in the Korean Peninsula's peace and stability?
Actually, nowadays, all 10 member states of ASEAN have diplomatic ties with North Korea. And actually, those ASEAN member states have been very active in engaging North Korea. I don't mean by engaging just appeasing them. Actually, ASEAN countries, including the Philippines, had played a constructive role trying to persuade North Korea to, sort of behave themselves, or, try to persuade North Korea to act, responsibly as a responsible member of the international community, by which we want to be nuclear arms development control. And we expect ASEAN member states, including the Philippines, to play an important role. And of course, it was not the Philippines, but other ASEAN member states, for example, Singapore, Vietnam, try to do their part by hosting this bilateral summit between President Trump and North Korean Kim Jong-un. And the other day, actually, it's an anecdote. When my boss had a meeting with former President Fidel Ramos, who happens to be a former Korean veteran, he joked that, we should host, peace talk between the two Koreas, or peace talk between North Korea and the United States. The reason why? We have a beautiful beach, beautiful scenery, and of course we have a beautiful golf course. We can entertain President Trump here, and also Kim Jong-un. So I think the Philippines is also have a potential to do that.
Thank you very much. Okay, so at this point, we can now open the floor to questions from the audience. May we request the questions to come from the students first, and then kindly identify your major, and then raise your question very briefly. We have a mic in front. Kindly approach the microphone and address your question to any of our speakers. No questions from the audience. Alright. So not just the students. Alright. The lady in pink.
Annyeonghaseyo. Good afternoon. I'm Christine Sarito. I'm a Global Korean Scholarship alumna. I obtained my MA in Korean History from Southern University. I would like to address my question to Mr. Kim. Annyeonghaseyo. My thesis was about how do we remember the pep talks participation in the Korean War. Through the after Korean War Memorial in Academe ng mga Bayani. Well, and then with that, after my thesis, I thought it would be over because finally I got my degree, but there are still a lot of questions. There are actually several aspects of the history of the Korean War, like the United Nations, the Linkages participation, that needs a lot of clarification. Even in the Philippines in particular, we do not have in our consciousness. We don't even know that the Philippines actually sent more than 7,000 soldiers in 5 cities during the Korean War, during the time of during the administration of the leader. Perhaps it's because also the history books we use in school, in our universities, never mention the Filipino participation in the Korean War. Auditorium, neither Constantino mentioned it. Well, except for one, I was in Bacolod and I was just in the archives of the University of St. Lasal Library, and I was able to unearth 2 books that mentioned the Filipino participation in the Korean War. One was a Philippine history book written by the late Benitez, the brother of former Senator Helena Benitez, and of course Francisco Benitez, after whom UP Diliman Scholarship Education was named. It was published in 1954, a year after the armistice was signed by the 2 Koreas and the US and China. Well, it mentioned that it was a 2-page, although it was just a 2-page narrative. He said that we sent soldiers to the Korean War. Another book that I found was written by a former United Nations war correspondent and former staff member of the Manila Evening News, Attorney Juan Villasanta. He was, well, I thought he was from Negros because he published his book in 1954 in Bacolod. But then he was actually from Abali, Cagayan. And he was one of those,
Perhaps we can proceed with the question.
well, my question actually, since it's, I'll just summarize it, my apologies. Since it's the 70th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War on June 25th next year, are there any plans from the end of the Korean embassy in the Philippines to reintroduce the Filipino participation in the Korean War, just like how the Israeli government reminded us that we actually saved several number of Jews during the Holocaust? Thank you.
I actually didn't get a question from again. So do you have any?
Can you rephrase? Can you repeat the question, please?
Since there are several aspects that need to be clarified in the history of the Korean War, especially the participation of the Filipino soldiers, are there any plans from the end of the Korean embassy in the Philippines or the Korean government in particular to remind us, because it's actually perhaps you reminded us more about our participation in the Korean War, because you know more that we participated in it more than our nation. So are there plans, since we will be commemorating the 70th anniversary of the war's outbreak next year on June 25th? We have some programs organized, or do you plan some programs to be organized for that? Thank you.
Okay, so the first part of the question is, do we have any program to commemorate the outbreak of the Korean War and focusing on Philippines' contributions? As of this speaking, unfortunately, I don't have any specific information on any concrete program for next year yet, because we all government officials tend to focus on now, and we are now focusing on this commemorative summit in Busan. But I think definitely Korea's Ministry of Veterans Affairs had something in mind. And since the Philippines was one of the United Nations members who actually sent troops, so definitely they will organize something and something taking place here. And also reminding, Philippine people in general on the Philippine participation in the Korean War. I think we recently prepared some information book on Korea, and actually UPKRC played a great part in publishing that booklet. I think we have some mentioning on the Filipino participation in the war, so I think that would be another source. And I think that we are distributing those booklets for free. So if you are interested, just come to UPKRC or the embassy for a copy.